we go. Load to the scrapyard. It's all non-ferrous stuff. So we got some big AC compressors. That's just a bucket of ballasts. So I've been collecting them for a little while. Some yards, they'll have, I think it's PCBs or something beside the ballast. And some yards are pretty picky about those. Well, I've never brought them into my yard yet, so I don't know. That's thing of number 2, insulated wire, big bucket of dirty aluminum. That thing's of dirty aluminum too. Copper number 1 and copper number 2. A few pipes. This is like from a swimming pool liner or protector. And this bucket is just all copper bearing stuff. I just use, whenever I find something copper bearing, I just throw it into a bucket. Big milk crate of transformers, copper transformers. That gets really heavy. I actually use the crane to bring that milk crate onto the truck. It's so heavy. AC adapters, fat plugs. Curious to know if they'll give me the same price for these and these, because basically these are just as a transformer with plastic around it, right? And so these are transformers without the plastic. So I'm curious to see if they'll give me the same price. I have a feeling that they will. And then just some rotors, and down there is a big coil of wire. That's some wire that I got a long time ago, and it has the cloth on it. It's really difficult to strip, and also the copper is tin, or it's coated with like it looks silver, so I think it's like nickel or tin or something like that. So just going to bring that in. Maybe they'll give me a copper 1 price for it, or a copper insulated, you know what I mean, number 1 insulated price. Down there, just a bunch of motors. So that's it. I could have brought some more stuff in, but these ACRs, for example, I just have to go to the shop right now. I mean, there's just so many hours in a day, I can't do it all. Then I have all of that. There's, I think, 8 air conditioners there. I gotta take apart all those. Not complaining. It's just, if I don't stay on top of it, it just gets a little bit overwhelming. But whatever. Those ACRs are really good money. It pays. It's well worth taking those apart. All right, well, let's get going. I just dropped off all the scrap yard. I got about $300. I'll show you the ticket when we get home. But I'm just at my shop here picking up a couple more air conditioners. It's a biggie. I'll show you. Okay guys, made it back home. I'll show you that big air conditioner in a second, but yeah, I'll go over the ticket here with you. Copper content, 447 pounds. That was the compressors, AC adapters, and that other bucket of miscellaneous stuff, $67. The transformers, 172 pounds. That's just that little red milk crate. So that was 20 cents a pound, so it was a better price, 34 bucks. Rotors, $3. 360 rather, some aluminum, more aluminum, number 1 copper, and number 2. Insulated number 1, 2430, dirty aluminum, 1140. Electric motors, $14. Insulated number 2 copper, $43.40. This air conditioner is probably the biggest air conditioner I've ever received. It is just massive. I used the crane to get it up, so it was pretty easy for me to get it up onto the truck. Yeah, it's gonna be fun taking that thing apart. And then the little guy right there. Went through all the air conditioners yesterday. Was a tough job. There's all the compressors. They didn't take the ballasts yesterday. When I went to the scrapyard, they said that they don't take them because they have PCBs or something. So, guess I'll just throw those in with shreddable steel or something. I don't know. Yeah, so I rearranged this spot a little bit. I put my little desk over there, and just gonna, these are all the ACRs I still have to cut up, and those ones too. There's just 3 right there, and so I'll just, I like having it on the skid, keep it off the ground a little bit, and those are ones that have been cut up. And then a whole bunch of copper motors from all the fans, and those ones, that's just aluminum. So sometimes the air conditioners have aluminum coils instead of copper. In here is just the big bucket of copper from all the air conditioners yesterday. So that's like 10 air conditioners right there of copper. So there's some little bit of cutoffs down there, but it's mostly just like that's just the piping from inside the air conditioners, and that's just a big giant one. I cut off this with the ends with a sawzall while it was still in the air conditioner, and that worked out really well. So if you guys, I should have videotaped it, I guess, but if you guys have an air conditioner like this and you're taking it apart, just cut off the steel with the sawzall while it's still inside the air conditioner. It's a lot easier. Yeah, so that's that. Show you. There's just some plastic I got to get rid of from the ACR plenum furnace plenums. 3 scrap furnaces. I've taken all the parts that I want out of them, and right now I just have my trailer parked over here, and it's already full of steel. Already full. Practically ready to go again. So I want to just get back to work and start cutting off these, and I'm just going to back the truck in so that as I cut them up, I'll just throw it right into the back of the truck. That didn't take very long. That's it there. So lots of rads and all the motors with the blades still attached. They've been taking them with the blades. They haven't said anything to me, so I'm just going to keep doing that. They're all aluminum blades, you know. It's not worth my time to take those off. It would be pretty difficult unless I'm thinking someday I might buy a torch and I'll cut them off, but until that day comes, I'm going to leave them on. And these are all the compressors. There's 10 compressors and a big thing of copper. Even like that thing is all copper there. And then of course lots of rads, lots. So I'm predicting maybe around like $500 or $600. We'll see. There's all the copper cutoffs. So there they all are. Go through them later. So yeah, I was just using the saw again, and just regular wood blade, and it works well. So yeah, I'm just going to keep doing it like that for now. For the small ones, you know, for the big long ones for the inside the air conditioner, I'm going to cut those off with the sawzall while it's still inside the air conditioner. I find that works better. All right, let's go get paid. Oh yeah, I forgot I have to go to the post office too. I may do that a little bit later. Anyways, I just sold 2 things there. That was a squirrel cage for a furnace. You know, like the blower motor. That's the squirrel cage. I sold that for $60. That's going to Ohio. And then that is a washing machine motor. $35. It's going to Quebec. So I sold those 2 things yesterday. All right, guys, made it back, and the scrap is all gone. $719.80. Take a look there if you want. Copper number 2, $81. Copper content, $80 for the compressors. Electric motors, $15. It was 100 pounds of motors, and 34 pounds of ACRs. $542.50 for, and they gave me $1.25 a pound. So grand total of $719.80. Oh, that's good. You know, I think I made last couple days I made about $1,000 in scrap metal alone, and the eBay sales. So it was a great week. Can't complain. You guys just have to go for the higher copper content items for your scrap. That's the best way to do it, because scrap steel just not really much there. I've been driving past scrap on the road all the time now. I barely pick it up. Maybe like if I see a barbecue or something. But yeah, this, or maybe when my shop, my contact, when they slow down, I'll start to pick up more stuff that I see on the road. But they're giving me more than I need really for all my scrap and all the parts that I want to sell. Hey, what's up guys? We are at the flea market today with my young lad here, yeah. Parker. Yeah. Hello. Hey. And I'm not here to sell anything. Well, I am, but it's my better half, Christine. Christine and Spencer left early this morning to come here, and we all loaded up the truck last night with a whole bunch of stuff to sell, and so they're here. I haven't seen them yet, but they're here selling. She says she's made a few sales. So yeah, kudos to her. She's doing it all by herself with my son, Spencer. He's 9, so they're doing it together. And yeah, brought them some coffee and some donuts. And so yeah, let's get going. Let's go see how they're doing, shall we? Yeah. Hello. Hey guys. Whoops.
Oh yeah, 2 shirts on.
Yeah, 2 shirts.
Cool.
We just made it back home. The day is over. We left the flea market about an hour early before it closed. So it closes at 4 o'clock. We left around 3 o'clock. We were all packed up by then. At that point, there was pretty much nobody else walking through there. So we just said, forget it. Let's pack up and go. This is what the truck looks like right now. So we packed. It looks pretty full, but we had a lot of stuff. And a lot of these bins are mostly empty. A few of the bigger things that we sold were a Coke, a wooden Coke crate for 25 bucks. I sold a sump pump today for 20, a sled for 20. One thing that I was kind of surprised at was the books. People were stopping and looking at the books all the time. I didn't really think that was going to be a seller at all, but they were selling, like we were just doing $1 a book and people were buying them. So I'm going to show you guys how much money we made, and we're going to subtract all our expenses and everything like that. I'll show you that in a second. I want to show you one thing here. So I picked up a few video games, and the prices that he was selling them at were pretty comparable to what I've been seeing on eBay. So I decided just to buy them here, and yeah. So I just, from a previous video, you guys saw that I just picked up a new Nintendo. And so I bought some new games. This game I remember playing as a kid all the time, and of course Super Mario 3. My kids will love that. And this guy here, Super C, I played that so many times, so many hours have been put into these games back when I was a little lad. I have a Nintendo 64 down in the basement, and I've just been waiting to buy some games to test it out. So I bought that WCW. I remember playing that. I had a fun time playing that when I was a teenager. And then, of course, GoldenEye 007. Hey, what's up, guys? So, Monday morning, and I'm about to package up a whole bunch of stuff here that I sold on eBay. I'll show you that in a second. But first, I'll show you what our flea market was like. So, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either, I don't think. I mean, total sales were $235. So, that's not bad, right? So, it's okay. I mean, it's better than zero, right? But the amount of work we put into it, I mean, it was a 8-hour day plus all the preparation the day before. I don't know. I mean, I just thought it was going to be more, that's all. I thought it was going to be around $300, maybe $400. was hoping to be at least 500, to be honest, but oh well, we just weren't very prepared for it. I think if we had spent more time and effort into, it was just like the day before, kind of spur of the moment thing that we just started loading some stuff up into the truck. So when we got there and set up, we just found that we just didn't have enough stuff out on the tables. It's just not enough stuff, and it wasn't very well organized. Everything was in boxes, and we found out pretty quick that everyone likes to see price tags on the stuff. They don't want to have to ask about how much this is. So later on we started putting price tags on everything, and we found that things did sell better. We put a price tag on the sump pump, for example. It was like $25. Someone offered me 20. I took it. So I think that's one thing to consider if you want to do a flea market. But yeah, we'll probably do it again. But anyways, so it was $235, and then the booth was $25 to be on the property, and then the table rentals came up to $10, and I think we had like 3 tables. So $35 for that, and then we spent $10 on lunch and at the canteen there, and then we paid our son $20. So we walked away with $190 at the end of the day, and then we gave our son $20 out of that. So Christine and I, $170. All right, first thing here, 2 telephones. These are Philips telephones. Got in my recycling bin. Someone dropped those off, and I get these phones all the time. I think these things are starting to go extinct. Just like how the payphone did. I think home phones are the next thing to go. People are just using cell phones, and not too many people are talking on the phone these days, at least I find. So these 2, I sold them for $20 each. So I had a listing of 2, and the person bought both for $20, so it was $40 total, and $16 going to Alberta. So next here, this actually just sold this morning, and this is the front grill from, or front, I don't know what you call that. That goes on the hood of the car. That's actually from the Saturn that's in my driveway right now. So that sold for $55 and $29 for shipping, going to Missouri. Yeah, this is the second thing, I believe. Second or third thing I've sold from this Saturn. I sold the catalytic converter for $60, and this for $55, and I paid $250 for the car. I've almost made my money back for this car that I bought as a parts car. Bought it for $250. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really enjoying it very much. I probably won't do it again. But I mean, it's because now I'm just left with a big heaping mess in my driveway that I have to get rid of. I'm probably just going to call, there's some charities nearby that will take scrap cars and give you a charity receipt. I'm probably just going to do that because I don't really have any other way to move it. This here is a power supply board for an Emerson flat screen TV that sold for $50 and $13 for shipping, going to Quebec. And it's a pretty basic board, not much to it. Just a lot of capacitors and other little transformer bits. These things can get very complicated with lots of components. I believe this TV just had a cracked screen or something, and so I harvested it for parts. A lot of times, some of these boards will go bad, you'll see these capacitors that, right now it's kind of concave. Sometimes you'll see these capacitors bubbled up. That's a bad capacitor, and other components can burn out. You might see some burn marks on the other side of the board, and sometimes these the components that link the heat sinks, aluminum heat sinks, those can go bad too. So sometimes these boards look perfectly good, but they don't work at all. So it's really tricky to troubleshoot these things. So mainly I just look for TVs that have a broken screen. That way I know that most of the components are good inside. All my things that I sell are fixed price. I rarely go with auction. I actually just did an auction that ended a couple days ago for a turntable, and it did sell, but the person hasn't paid for it yet. So I'll probably show that in the next video. I did show this thing in my last video. This is what's it called? OTC Cummins diesel engine to let me just read it for you. Engine barring tool, 1/2 inch drive for a Cummins diesel Dodge or case engine. So it's an OTC tool. So these, basically it's just a 1/2 inch drive. It's just a big Torx socket really. But I can't remember where I got that from. It must have been in a box lot for a from an auction or something. So $45 and $17 for shipping. That's going to New Hampshire. I lowered my prices on these plates just recently. I was selling them for $20 and I lowered it just by a couple bucks, so $16.95, and that's just going local, I believe. Local shipping to Ontario, $22 for shipping. They're just so big and heavy, but so that's why I lowered the price a little bit. Just try and get them get some more moving. Though my wife was pretty happy about this sale here. She pulled this out of a clean out job that we did a couple years ago, I guess. This is a Jane Austen illustrated library book. It's really, really big. Very nice book. It's I guess all Jane Austen's, like her complete work. So that is really big and heavy. I listed that for $150, and I took a best offer. Someone offered me $100 and I took it. So I sold that $100, and it's really big and heavy, so $36 for shipping, going to Oklahoma. Little tiny capacitor sold for $12, and $16 for shipping, going to Pennsylvania. These little capacitors are really nice. I enjoy selling them because they're just so easy to pull out of the air conditioners, and they're not a big seller. Like they don't bring a lot of money in, but they always sell. Like $12 here, $16 there. I've actually been I cleaned up this whole area, so I kind of organized all of the parts that I need to sell, or list rather. And this is this is full of capacitors and these contactors that I pull out of the air conditioners. So yeah, so I've just been keeping all the capacitors that I want to sell. So a lot of these, again, they'll just sell for like 11 or 12 bucks, maybe 16, maybe 20. This one in particular, I remember selling one of these before. See, it has a little diode on it, and I've sold these before for $40. That's a nice one. And I pulled out this massive one here. This actually goes with it. This massive one here, it's all steel. I'm gonna look into selling that. That's for a really, really old air conditioner. It's heavy. It's like a big brick. Yeah. So I'll look into selling that, and I think this little one, I'll sell it with it. The little stove switch, that's just a small sale, $15 and $12 shipping, going to Ontario. Yep, sell those all the time. It's really good. That's for a burner element switch, so that's from a range. It just goes underneath the control panel. Last thing here, this is the compressor plug for an air conditioner compressor, and this one sold just $20. Cool, $20 and $16 shipping, going to MS. I think that's Massachusetts. Guys, that is it. That has sold. Getting pretty late in the day right now. It's about, it's almost 2 o'clock. Post office closes at 5, so I gotta get moving on this stuff. Today, I've just been dealing with carpenter ant invasion at my house. These little buggers are just everywhere. Oh, lovely. They're just biting. That's life living in a log house. You get lots of little critters coming in here, and I just set up my little Nintendo game system here. That N64 was actually dropped off at my recycling bin. So I bought that video game yesterday, GoldenEye, plugged it in, works fine. Actually just have the power turned off right now, but yeah, so I'm going to start a little collection here. It's fun. I used to have all this stuff when I was a kid, so it's actually really fun to collect. I remember I bought one of the first N64s I got when I was a kid. I traded in, I sold it, and I sold all the games with it. Later on, I remember buying another one because I loved GoldenEye so much, probably when I was in late teens or something. I ended up selling that one too and getting rid of it. Well, this is the third one I've owned because I just love GoldenEye so much, so I'm just going to keep it. And same with the Nintendo. I think I'm just going to keep it. I'm going to start a little collection. I love these two systems. I would love to get a Super Nintendo as well. And just get some of my old favorite games because my son really likes this game right here. He's been playing it a lot. And got a little nice little TV to play on too. So I was just dropped off my parcels. I'm at my drop-off bin and it looks like I'm going to get a little bit wet because there's a big furnace here. It's just pouring rain out today. It's really bad. We were actually supposed to go camping today. We booked the site and there's a $10 cancellation fee. But we had to pay the $10 to cancel. So we're going to try and go for the next 2 days. But yeah, there's no way we'd be able to go camping in this. It's really bad. So let's go. I'll go show you guys what's at the bin right now. We have a big furnace, big old one. Oh, it's an oil burning furnace. It's got, that's too bad that's getting all wet. A couple of rotors. Looks like a swing. A little bit of wire. Christmas lights, switches, basketball net. More of these tubes. Alright, now put the camera away. Alright guys, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching, and please make sure you like the video if you liked it. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And if you have a comment, by all means, make sure you leave a comment. I'll show you what I've been doing tonight. This is my basement right now. You can hear that big noisy thing in the corner over there. That's the new sump pump. So I was working down here. Actually, no, I lied. I was playing my video games. And then my son was too. We were both sitting here. And anyways, Christine comes down and she's like, "You guys, your basement is flooding." So I turn around and the sump pump we were using had broke. So at that time the water was right around here. So there was water here, and then I found out the sump pump broke, so I have spare out in the shed, so I came out and got it. So by the time I got it all hooked up, the water had just gone all the way around. It was just a big lake here. This is the old sump pump. It's dead. So luckily I have a spare in the shed, and I have that one as well. That's another one. But yeah, it was just all water here. Everything, all my inventory's in bins, so don't have to worry about all my inventory getting wet. Yeah, see, most of it dried out. We just got the fans going, dehumidifier going. It's all good. You know, it's not the first time it's happened. But yeah, if you have stuff in the basement, inventory, make sure you have it all in bins and it's all watertight, because it can happen when you least expect it. We got a big rainstorm going down right now.